In the last class, we discussed the theoretical concepts of the governor. So, the theoretical concepts consisting of the definition of the governor, followed by the types of the governor, followed by the principle of working of the centrifugal governor. Then we derived the expression for the equilibrium speed of a Porter governor. Now, in this class, we will try to solve some of the problems on the Porter governor. So, the Porter governor, if we recall, it will be consisting of a spindle. On the spindle, we will be connecting two upper arms and two lower arms. So, the one end of the upper arm will be connected to the spindle axis and other end of the upper arm will be connected to the governor ball, and one end of the lower arm will be connected to the governor ball and other end of the lower arm will be connected to the sleeve. So, when the sleeve it is in contact with the lower stopper, we say that the governor will be at minimum radius position. When the sleeve moves up to the stopper S1, so the radius of rotation it is going to increase, and the position of the governor at this position it is called as a maximum radius position. So, the minimum radius position of the governor it can be seen in this diagram. So, where we have represents the length of the upper arm by A1 B1 and the length of the lower arm by the length B1 C1, and the angle of inclination of the upper arm with respect to the spindle axis we have denoted it by theta 1, and the angle of inclination of the lower arm with respect to the spindle axis we have denoted it by beta 1, and the radius of rotation we have denoted it by R1, and the height of the governor we have denoted it by H1. Similarly, when the governor is at maximum radius position, we have given the notations like this. So, the length of the upper arm it is denoted by A2 B2, and the length of the lower arm it is denoted by B2 C2, and the radius of rotation it is denoted by R2, and the height of the governor it is denoted by H2, and the angle of inclination of the upper arm with respect to the spindle axis it is denoted by theta 2, and the angle of inclination of the lower arm with respect to the spindle axis it is denoted by beta 2. Now, in this session, let us try to solve some numerical problems on Porter governor. So, the first problem on the Porter governor which I am going to solve is of this one. The arms of a Porter governor are each 250 millimeter long and pivoted on the governor axis. The mass of each ball is 5 kg and the mass of the central sleeve is 30 kg. The radius of rotation of the balls is 15 centimeter when the sleeve begins to rise and reaches a value of 20 centimeter for the maximum speed. Determine the speed range of a governor if the friction of the sleeve is equivalent to 20 Newton. So, from the problem which we discussed now, the datas we can get the following datas. The first data given is the length of the Porter arm, it is 250 millimeters. So, the length of the Porter arm and Porter governor means it will be the length of A1 B1 and also the length of B1 C1, and also it will be equal to A2 B2 and B2 C2. Since they are not going to change, I am denoting it by AB equal to BC, it will be equals to 250 millimeters. I am going to convert the unit millimeters into meters by dividing this term by 1000. So, when I divide 250 by 1000, I will get the length in terms of meters and it will be equal to 0.25 meters. And also in the problem, it is specified that the mass of the ball, governor ball which is used in this governor, it is having 5 kg. And the mass of the ball it is denoted by small m. So, the value of m, small m will be equal to 5 kg, and in this problem it is stated that the mass of the sleeve is 30 kgs, and while doing the derivation for the equilibrium speed, the mass of the sleeve we have denoted by capital M. So, the value of capital M will be equals to 30 kg, and they have specified that when the sleeve when it moves along the spindle axis, there will be a frictional force of magnitude 20 Newton. So the frictional force we have denoted it by F, and its value will be equals to 20 Newton, and they have said that when the governor is at minimum radius position, the radius of rotation is 0.15 meters. So the radius, minimum radius, we are denoting it by R1, so the value of R1 will be equals to 0.15 meters. Similarly, the maximum radius of rotation in the problem, they have stated that it will be equal to 20 centimeter. So if I convert into meter, it will becomes 0.2 meters. So by making use of these data, we need to find the speed range. So speed range is nothing but it is the difference between the maximum speed under which the governor is going to work minus the minimum speed at which the governor is going to work. So we get the maximum speed of the governor at maximum radius position, and we get the minimum speed of the governor at minimum radius position. So the speed with which the governor is going to rotate at the minimum equilibrium speed, minimum radius position, we are going to call it as N1, and the speed with which the governor is going to rotate at maximum radius position, it will be taken as N2. So in order to calculate the speed range, we will be using the formula N2 minus N1. So if you want to find the speed range, I need to calculate, or I need to find what will be the value of N2 and what will be the value of N1. So in the last class, we have derived the expression in order to find the values of N1 and N2. So to calculate the maximum equilibrium speed, we can make use of the equation N1 square will be equals to calculate the minimum equilibrium speed, we can make use of the equation N1 square will be equals to 895 by H1 in bracket 2 mg plus capital Mg minus F into 1 plus K1 divided by 2 mg. So if you carefully look at this equation is consisting of the following terms. So that is, if I want to calculate the value of N1, I need the following parameters. One is the value of H1, then I need the value of small m, and then I need the value of capital M, and then F followed by K1. So if I calculate these terms, then I can substitute them in this equation and I can calculate the value of N1. But in the data itself, it is given that the value of small m is 5 kg and the value of capital M is 30 kg and the frictional force will be equals to 20 Newton. So since out of the 5 terms, already we know 3 terms. So if I calculate the value of H1 followed by K1, I will get the value of N1. So first what I will do is, I will try to find what is the value of H1. So in order to find the value of H1, we can make use of this triangle. So if you consider the right angle triangle A1, B1, D1, there if I apply the Pythagoras theorem which states that A1 B1 square will be equals to B1 D1 square plus A1 D1 square. So by using Pythagoras theorem, we have written this formula. So when I substitute the value of A1 B1, so it is given that the value of A1 B1 will be equals to 0.25 meters and the value of B1 D1, it will be equals to R1. So the value of R1 given is 0.15 meters and then the value of A1 D1 will be equals to H1. So in place of A1 B1, we have written 0.25, in place of B1 D1, we have written 0.15 and in place of A1 D1, we have replaced it by H1. So in this equation, the only unknown is H1. So if you solve this, we get the value of H1 and it will be equals to 0.2 meters. So we have already calculated the value of H. So once we find the value of H, the only term we need to find is K1 to get the value of N1. So in order to get the value of K, we know that the value K, it is given by tan beta by tan theta 1. So here if you want to get K1, I need to know the value of beta 1 as well as theta 1. But if you see this diagram here, if I draw an horizontal axis at B1, so if I draw an axis, you can see that these two triangles will be symmetric in nature. because the length A1 B1 will be same as B1 C1 and length B1 D1 it is common to both. As a result, both are symmetrical in nature. So when the two triangles are symmetrical, obviously the value of beta 1 will be equal to theta 1. So when beta 1 equals theta 1, the value of K1 turns out to be 1. So for this case, the value of K1 is 1. So we can calculate the value of N1 as we know all the 5 terms. So substitute the value of H1, small m, capital M, F and K1 in this equation, and if you simplify that, you will get the value of N1 in terms of RPM and it will be equals to 171.72 RPM. Similarly, to find the maximum equilibrium speed, that is N2, we can make use of the same equation with little alteration. So the value of N2, it can be calculated by using the formula N2 square will be equals to 895 by H2 in bracket 2 mg plus capital MG plus F into 1 plus K2 divided by 2 times mg. So here if I want to find the value of N2, what are the terms we require? So the terms which we require in order to find the value of N2 is, first I need to know what is the value of H2, then I need to know what is the value of small m, and I need to know what is the value of capital M, then I need to know what is the value of F followed by K2. But in the problem itself, it is stated that the value of M will be equals to 5 kg, the value of capital M will be equal to 30 kg and the value of F will be equals to 20 Newton. So to calculate N2, again we need only 2 terms which will be equal to H2 and K2. They are H2 and K2. So to find H2, we will be making use of this diagram. So here, if I consider the triangle A2, B2, D2, there by making use of the Pythagoras equation or Pythagoras theorem, we can get the value of H2 as 0.15 meters and we can calculate the value of K2 by using the formula tan beta 2 by tan theta 2. So if you consider these two triangles, if I draw an horizontal axis from point B to, these two triangles will be symmetrical in nature. So since these two triangles are symmetrical, the value of theta 2 will be equals to beta 2. So when beta 2 and theta 2 are same, the value of K2 will turns out to be 1. So we got the value of H2 and the value of K2. Now substitute these values in the equation N2 square. So if you substitute all these terms in this equation, we will get the value of N2, which is the maximum equilibrium speed, as 210.2 RPM. Now we can calculate the speed range by using the formula maximum equilibrium speed minus minimum equilibrium speed. So the maximum equilibrium speed will be 210.2 minus minimum equilibrium speed will be 171.72. So if you subtract 171.72 from this, we will get 38.48 RPM, which represents the speed range, of the given governor for the given specifications.